Yes, my name is Joe Diaper, and yes, I have put a bit of weight on during lockdown. Thank goodness this table is here, is all I can say. Welcome to another episode of A Quart of Ale, where I'm going to be drinking another beer and rating it out of 10 in 7 different categories, looking for the best beer in the whole world. So, those categories are the can or bottle appearance, the drink's in-glass appearance, how the drink smells, the all-important first sip, its effort to drink, its gassiness, and the after-drink feeling. Yes, indeedy. So today we are trying a beer from a brewery I've wanted to try for a long time. This one is exciting, it's going to be interesting, it's a little bit different, and hopefully it's going to be great. This is what we're going to look at today. Today's drink is called Keller Pils. Its description is, sometimes the simple things in life are the best. We take Pilsner malt from Germany and combine with 3 traditional hop varieties, Magnum, Pearl, and, wait for it, Hallertauer Mittelfrüh. I've probably pronounced that completely wrong. I'm so sorry, Germany, if I have. To produce a clean, unfiltered, hop bitter lager beer. Its ABV is 4.8%, and I'm drinking it in a 440 milliliter can. Its IBU is 34. It's brewed by the very well known Lost and Grounded and is based in Bristol, England. Cheers to you guys! Its listed ingredients are water, barley malt, hops and yeast, apart from what is mentioned in the description. Cool stuff. So now is the time for me to try Lost and Grounded, a brewery I've heard a lot about. A lot of respect for this brewery, a lot of people like it, some big fans, and across the drinking beer world, everyone's got good things to say about it. So I'm very excited to try my first Lost and Grounded beer. So let's crack on right now with ratings. So I'm going to start off then with the can appearance. So let's have a look. We got a lovely river or lakeside view there with a it looks a bit like George from Rainbow. Do you remember George from Rainbow? He's not the one with the zip, and he's not the bear. He's like the hippo. And for some reason, he's in a rowboat and he's got wings. Fair enough, that's cool. But it definitely does look like George, or an outline of George from Rainbow. It's a lovely setting, got hills, mountains, a little bird flying past, you've got trees and clouds and that kind of thing. Very nice feeling. Obviously it is a very German orientated lager beer. They've very much gone for the German beer taste. And they've gone for a kind of German beer setting on the front of their can, I think there. It's something you wouldn't find amiss on a German lager cover. So maybe that's what they've gone for there. It's got their logo nice and big at the top there. Very cool. Keller Pils on the bottom. Not very big. My bugbear, as always, is the size of the name of the drink. And it's not especially gripping there. In fact, not much is grabbing my attention on this can. Yes, it's cool. Yes, it's subtle. Yes, it's a nice picture. But in a fridge, the pale colours, so the pale blues, the pale greens, that kind of thing, wouldn't grab my attention as such. And it might be one that I look over in a fridge. I wouldn't have any reason to look at this and go, that looks great or that looks interesting, because it doesn't really. There's not much going on at all. So for can appearance, I'm going to give this one a not much happening, but not terrible, 5.5. So the can's not really got me excited, especially quite plain, quite pastel, not much going on. Hopefully in glass will be a bit better. So let's open this up and give it a pour. Obviously got a little bit of a bigger can as well this time. I like a bigger can. I'm all for more beer in a can. Should fit in the glass, I'd imagine. Usually they do at 440. Nice pour. Nice crisp sounding beer. Bit of fizz to it. We'll get it all in. Perfect. Just don't spill it. Alright then, yep, so just about. So it's all in. I gotta be really careful with this now. It's very full. It's full right at the brim. Looking at it, yes, it's a lager colour. It's a light amber colour. Looks more like a pale ale almost in colour. Doesn't look quite lagery, but it looks nice. It looks crisp. It looks refreshing. It looks bubbly, which I like. It's got a little head on it, but that's kind of gone down very quickly for a lager beer. It's not bad. Let's just say that. It's not bad. It looks lively. It looks refreshing. It looks crisp. It looks like a nice summer drink from here. So, on that note, in glass appearance, it looks good. It looks like a nice lager. Better than mainstream, definitely. It looks like it's got a character to it. So I'm going to go with it's a lager. It looks okay. 6.5 out of 10. Can's alright. Looks okay. How does it smell? Not got anything yet, so it's not one of the open the can, be able to smell it instantly drinks. Let's see if it just smells like a German beer or like a German infused beer, what they're going for at the moment. Let's give it a smell and see what's going on there. Again, be really careful not to spill it. Not one drop shall touch this table. It's not got much of a smell to it, to be fair. So one of the reasons why I didn't get much of a smell, because there's not much going on. It smells like a German beer, just not as strong as you'd expect a German lager to smell. Obviously, it's not fully German. It's made by an English company who have gone along the lines of a German lager with a twist. It's pretty much what I expected it to smell like, I think, really. Not much of a smell. I stick my nose in it because it's so full up. Don't do that on camera. It's very embarrassing when it happens. I can really smell it though now because it is up my nose, so that's always good. Yeah, so it just smells like a lager, but not even a strong lager especially. And not even a good smelling German beer. At least with a German beer, you expect that really, really strong German beer smell. With this, there's not really any smell, even when you get it right up your nostrils. It's just a light German beer-ish smelling smell if you really, really concentrate on it. So, for smell, it's going to get a low mark because it doesn't really smell of anything, and the hints of German lager I can smell are not very strong and not especially dragging me into it or want me to drink it. So, for smell, it's going to get a low one. It's going to be 4 out of 10. It's not doing great so far. Low marks across the board. At the moment, it's just boring. It's just not very exciting. The can's not very exciting. The in-glass appearance looks like a German lager beer, maybe a little bit paler, almost hinting on pale ale territory, but still nothing special. The smell, there isn't really one if you get really close to it, so it goes up your nose. It smells slightly like a German beer, But again, not very hoppy, not very strong. It doesn't smell like a good German beer. It smells like a weak lager at the moment. Hopefully it'll taste better. First sip then. So, I was really looking forward to it. A little bit put off now, but open mind. Go into a sip. It might taste amazing. Who knows? Here we go. So, cheers to you guys. And cheers to me for going back to work. I really didn't want to, but going back and getting over my anxiety about that. So, well done me. It's good to give yourself a pat on the back every now and again. So cheers guys, cheers to everybody. Let's give us a first sip. Really impressed. Very, very nice, very good. A very full flavour. It's a little bit confusing about what it's trying to be. I know in the actual description of it, it calls itself a hop bitter lager beer. I'd say it's more IPA than lager. Very much so. Obviously they wanted to go for the German beer effect, or the German lager effect. Have they done that? Yes and no. There's a hint of the hoppiness, the German malts there, the Pilsner. But combined with everything else, it moves very much into the IPA world. However, moving into the IPA world, it is very, very good. It has a lovely flavour, fruity flavour. Not sure what kind of fruit. It wasn't especially tropical, really. I will need to have a second sip just to pin that down a bit because I was surprised by the taste. But maybe the citrusy, the orangey, lemony kind of taste you usually get in an IPA, which is what I'm surprised about because it is trying to class itself as a hop spinner lager beer, when what it's doing is being an IPA. It's being a light IPA. But it's doing what it does well. I am not here to kind of judge where it puts itself or what it calls itself. I'm here to say if it's nice or not. So, first sip, Keller Pils. Having a drink of that one. I'm going to give it a high one. It's going to get a 7 out of 10. I was surprised by the first sip then. It wasn't what I expected it to be at all. When they said there's a German infused Pilsner mixed with English bits and pieces, I thought it was going to lean more towards the German lager beer side. It doesn't. It leans really, really far over, almost toppling into the IPA world. But it does that very well. It's not what I expected it to be. So, effort to drink. Time to finish it off. Drink it all down. Second sip. There is the maltiness and the hoppiness there of the German lager a little bit more. So a little bit more of the woody kind of taste, the woody flavour. But it's nowhere near as strong as some German lagers can be. Whereas sometimes you drink a German lager or German bitter or whatever, and the flavour of the hops and the malts, the woody kind of taste can be too much. And it can dry your mouth out a little bit, be a little bit too bitter, and just really give you an aftertaste of really kind of burnt wood and that kind of aftertaste, the kind of burnt aftertaste. But this doesn't. It's very smooth, it's very gentle. I like it. I'm a big fan. There she blows. Keller Pils, Lost and Grounded. Boring. really boring. What can I say about it? The taste, that slight German beer, part IPA, woody, little with this hint of fruity taste, goes quite quickly. And by the time you get to the end of it, there's not much flavour left. Your taste buds are used to it. Tastes quite watery. Not exciting in any way. Was quite tough to drink it all, to be fair. I wouldn't have another one. Definitely not. Just boring. Just nothing happening. Doesn't know whether it wants to be a lager or an IPA, so it's somewhere in the middle. Mine went a bit flat after a few seconds. I'm not sure if that's maybe my glass. It shouldn't be because the glass is cold. I tried to give it a tap on a table, but it wouldn't bring any life to it either. The thing I can definitely say is the flavour is boring. It doesn't do anything. It disappears by the end of the drink. And that flavour itself is only just a hoppy flavour, like a not full strength German lager taste, but almost there, but not quite. And then also got like a little hint of one being IPA, but there's no fruitiness there. If there is, it's very, very subtle, too subtle, just boring. It's really boring. So, effort a drink. It was an effort. If I bought this, I'd be disappointed and I'd change to something else. It's going to be a low mark. It's 4 out of 10, I'm afraid. You can tell I'm deflated. You can tell I'm a little bit let down by it. I think the main problem is it doesn't know what it wants to be. I think that's the main thing. Gassiness then, it is quite gassy, but then it went flat towards the end. When I first poured it, it was lively as anything, looked really good. Then in my glass, went really flat. Again, maybe there's environmental conditions at the moment, but if I sat outside in the beer garden, drinking one of these, in a similar glass, it'd be even hotter. It would be directly 28 degrees rather than in here, which is probably about 20 degrees at the moment. It's quite warm. So you'd think it'll be even warmer and it'd go flatter even quickly, or even quicker. And it is quite gassy. So I have to burp quite a lot. It's weird because if I give it a bad score for gassiness, but then it went flat anyway. So it's weird. It's gassy, but it went flat. How does that work? So I'm going to go with it went flat after 10 minutes, drinking it in a room that's 20 degrees. God knows what I'll do outside in the heat. It's going to get really low, probably lowest of 3. After drink feeling then. So, disappointed. Don't want another one. Would never pay money for it, I don't think, especially. There's many more drinks I'd go for. Doesn't know what it wants to be. Doesn't want to be a German beer inspired English lager. Doesn't want to be an IPA. Doesn't want to be a bitter. Doesn't want to be a pale ale. Because it's got all these points. It looks like a pale ale. It smells a bit like a German lager. It's got a taste of German lager meets IPA. But not ticking any boxes, if you know what I mean. The fact that they call itself a hot bitter lager beer, that's a lot of things to call yourself. Hot bitter lager beer, pick one or two. Be a hop lager, hot beer, but don't mix up loads of genres because it just doesn't work. There's no defined point for it to be. It doesn't want to be a German lager. It doesn't want to be an IPA. It doesn't want to be a pale ale. But trying to be all those things has made it nothing. I know it's harsh, sounds really harsh, but trying to be all those things has made it just a beer you pass over, unfortunately. So, after drink feeling very disappointed, let down, 3. The scores have been worked out then, so Keller Pils by Lost and Grounded is meant to be a German-inspired hop-spitter lager beer made in England, and it ended up being somewhere drifting lost in an IPA German lager pale ale world. That's what I think. Maybe that's why it's on a lake. Maybe that's what it is. This guy here, he's driving around the lake of German beer, IPA, and pale ale. And there's 3 islands. Those are the 3 islands: a German lager, IPA, pale ale, and he can't quite choose which one he wants to be at. It's a metaphor. It makes sense now. So, I can tell you that Keller Pils has got a rating of 47.1%. Let's have a look where that puts it in our league table. So it puts it in there at the bottom there with a few others, and it is about right. It's in a similar area. As I say, a non-event, doesn't know what it wants to be, ends up being nothing. Shame. Absolute shame. I was very excited, Lost and Grounded, heard great things. They sell this in Waitrose, where all the posh people shop. But maybe posh people don't know. Good beer. I'm not saying anything. But that's it then. So we've been back to Bristol. We were let down by Bristol this time. Lost and Grounded, not so good. Hopefully the other beers will be even better. But for now, as always, add us on social media, like us, share us, and subscribe. My name, as always, is Joe Diaper, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of A Quart of Ale. See you then.